What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Malik, aka MLK, and welcome to a special edition of the weekly EHP report. With 2 weeks in the books, every team in the league finds itself at a critical crossroads. Some are fighting for their season, some are fighting for respect, and some are fighting for dominance. Today, we're going to get inside the minds of the players and captains at the center of these stories. We're sitting down with key figures from the Fossil Island Fiends, the Gielnor Goon Squad, the Sennisten Shitlows, and the Chinchompa Traphouse to talk strategy, pressure, and the path forward. We're going to start with the team under the most pressure in the entire league. We're joined by the captain of the 0-2 Fossil Island Fiends, Hadj, and their returning player Pete. Thanks for joining me.
Hello.
Yo, what's going on?
All right, Hadj, I want to start with you. As the captain of this 0-2 team, how do you manage the pressure and the team's morale after a 0.64 EHP humongous loss in week 1, followed by a tough blowout loss in week 2?
Yeah, week 1 was crazy. We were very high output on week 1 as well. Like, our entire team was pulling 120 hours. And it was so close. Like, we weren't able to secure that win, and we were like an hour off. But that kind of like showed our ceiling. I feel like I really got to play the kind of our all-star players and see what our ceiling was there. Week 2 was kind of a blowout. We started really, really strong, but I was able to see what my bench could do when we rotated in some players, and it gave some of my players some time to reset as well. And it's really showing in week 3 that we were rested and ready to attack.
That's interesting. Pete, let's turn to you. You had a legendary 147 EHP performance in week 1, setting your all-time PR for EHP weeks, which many, including myself, called the MVP performance of the week. Your reward was being benched for week 2, your rest week. What was your personal reaction to that decision? And what's your mindset coming back into the lineup for this critical week? Great.
Me sitting out week 2 was a mutual decision between me and Hadj. I had some IRL to do, but I probably still could have put up a big number. But I won't say I was sat like against my will, because I still could have probably played.
And what was your mindset coming back into this lineup for against the Goon Squad?
I was definitely excited to come back after that. I would say rest week for me from week 2. Week 3, I was coming in I was playing for the win.
Nice. And Hadj, let's talk about that rest week strategy. It was a controversial move that resulted in a blowout loss. Looking back, do you still feel it was the right call for the long-term health of your team, even if it meant taking a guaranteed loss?
Yeah, the losses weren't ideal. I really didn't expect to start 0-2 in the league, but yeah, we're coming back strong. I feel like making the decision to turn it into a rest week is really, really strong for us, because the first couple days, I really thought we were going full tilt. We even started with a lead on the first day as the other team had to rest. But yeah, I feel like taking it off, turning it into a rest week was really strong for us.
Nice. And honestly, final question for you both. You're now facing the Gielnor Goon Squad, another talented 0-2 team, and a match that could decide your season. What is this game plan, and what needs to happen for the Fossil Island Fiends to get their first win on the board and turn their season around? Let's start with Hadj, the captain.
Yeah, you really can't count us out. Like, the Fiends are so crazy this season. I know we're starting off with 2 losses, but I really drafted players that can put their head down and work.
Pete, Justin, how do you feel about that?
I think, but prior to week 3 starting, our starting 5 was prepared to go really hard with like sleep depth and all that, because we really needed this win, so we were prepared to go all out. And we're kind of, I would say we're kind of coasting to maintain our lead at the time of this interview.
Yeah.
So we just
we
gotta
haven't
kind of
gotten
like
that.
watch the numbers.
Y'all are up. It's right now, at the time of this recording, it's 264 to 197. Y'all are up. It's looking like y'all are going to get your first dub of the season. How does that feel for both of you?
No, it's incredible. Yeah, it's a very important win here. You can see certain players like Scarf and Gaduzu are also taking this week to just kind of relax and take it easy. I wonder if they're going to go crazy next week. But yeah, we came in to fight this week.
Yeah. So, Justin, how do you feel, Pete?
Yeah, same thing. I'm kind of I definitely was excited to go all out, but now seeing we're up, it's nice to get a little bit of a rest going into, the future matchups, future weeks.
Yeah. And speaking of the future weeks, y'all have talented Sennisten Shitlows that y'all got to go against. Hadj, what's the preparation and guidance that you're giving your team and your roster for next week?
Yeah, week 4 is also a must win for us. Honestly, if we want to secure a top spot, like week 4 is going to be very important. But our core players, they're rested, we're motivated, we're ready to lock in. Yeah, we've got some gains coming out in week 4.
And Pete, just a little teaser. Can we look forward to seeing you in week 4, or what are your thoughts? Can you release that information?
Yeah, I definitely think I'm on the drawing board to play week 4. Of course, it's not decided yet, but if my captain here plays me, I'll give him my all.
That's crazy. So and Pete, in regards to the Goon Squad and the Shitlows, one thing to note is the Goon Squad. This is the first time that they're looking as though they'll get blown out in a sense. And it looks like they're taking a rest week in that blowout. So a lot of people around the league are saying that is indicative that next week they intend to go hard on the Butchers. What are your thoughts on that? And
They have to.
Yeah,
They
and
have to.
what are your thoughts on that, Pete?
I definitely think they have to. I feel like if everyone's just gonna rest against the Butchers, that's just a recipe for disaster. When you go into the playoffs against them, they're fully rested and they'll just like dominate any team they go against.
Yeah, they're kind of going on a little kamikaze mission there, aren't they? Because
Yeah.
they're starting what 0 and they look like they're going to be 0-3. They're going to go against the Butchers, who are going to be 3-0. And I mean, who knows what can happen? I mean, yeah, it's looking like they're taking a really big rest week, and Butchers. Uh, who knows? Who knows where that could go? It'd be very interesting because this is the first time we've seen them actually not. When they lost, they've always been losing by like a considerably small gap, but now this is a big one. Both teams are technically resting in a way, but some of the players are still playing. But yeah, and then also for the Shillows, Pete, what's your game? How are you preparing this week to? I know you're resting, but how are you preparing this week to face the Shillows, and what are you looking up into matchups? Like, what are you looking forward to in that matchup?
Um, for week 4, well, for right now, I'm kind of just coasting. I think I'm almost at the bottom of my team for this week, but for next week going in, I want to potentially match, one of the top 2 players on that team, whatever they end up finishing with. That's
Yeah.
probably the ideal goal.
I see. And Hodge, for the Shillows, you said that it's a must win. Also, um, yeah. So, how are your thoughts regarding your roster for next week, and what your potential roster will look like, and how are you going to manage week 4?
Well, next week we're going to be playing against Necro, we're playing against Rez. It looks like they're taking some time off this week as well. Florals. We might even see Seek play against us. But yeah, we're rested. We're ready to go. honestly, those early losses kind of forced us to adapt. Like, I'm no longer figuring things out. Like, we're going to be able to execute a game plan. I'm putting players in that know how to get the job done.
That's what we like to hear. Well, that's really large, and I appreciate you guys sitting down with me, Hadj, Pete. Thank you both for being so open and sharing your perspective during a tough week. We're all looking forward to seeing how you bounce back and the weeks to come. Look forward to seeing y'all perform in week 4.
Appreciate that.
All right.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Now we turn to the other 0-2 team, a squad that has earned the respect of the entire league despite their record. I'm joined by the captain of the Gielnor Goon Squad, DJ9. DJ9, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me. Good to be here.
Yeah, your team is currently 0-2, but that record doesn't tell the whole story. You lost to the Shitlows by less than 14 EHP, to the Plunderers by just 1.5 EHP. From a captain's perspective, how do you keep your team's morale high and prevent frustration from setting in after coming so close to a victory twice?
Man, I will say, just first off, I did not expect week 2 to be so close. I'm pretty sure on y'all's recap just the other day, y'all were talking about it should have been a loss, which I, honest to God, thought it should have been from the start, just because we pushed ourselves week 1. And I mean, I know they did too, but I mean, yeah, they didn't take it serious, clearly. So we tried to take advantage of that. Didn't quite catch it, but I mean, what can we do? There's still 5 more weeks left. So obviously, I mean, you see what's going on this week. I told everybody to take it easy this week, because I did see we were playing fifth twice, which I didn't realize up until like closer to the start of this week. So I just told everybody to rest up, and pick your head up. It's not the end of the world. And yeah, we'll be back for sure. Everyone's excited. I mean, I think like the bit of the beatdown that we took, like from the the drafting discussion, I think that lit a fire under everyone's ass, and really brought us all together for sure. Because I mean, yeah, we're all pretty quiet guys, but like we've all definitely come together and like gotten to know each other, and it's been pretty cool. Yeah, I love my team for sure.
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
And speaking of some of the guys, in both weeks, your top players have performed at an elite level. Fincher and Gaduzu both outgained Necro in week 1, and in week 2, Scarf had a massive week of 137 EHP. As a captain, how proud of you of your players for consistently proving they can go toe-to-toe with the league's best?
Man, I'm so proud of them, honestly. And from Scarf too, especially because he told me, he told all of us he was only planning to do 80 plus. And we're like, all right, yeah, go on in. I mean, I don't know. I didn't think 137 was going to be required, because, coming off such a tight week 1, I didn't think, that was going to be needed. But yeah, everyone popped off week 2. Fincher's still going hard, even, we're still behind. He just keeps going. That man's a machine. So, I mean, yeah, what else can I say? They're just so consistent.
Yeah, Fincher is really consistent. He seems to be one of y'all's best players. So yeah, speaking of like, I just want to touch on the current week. I talked to some of the Fiends, and you're now facing them, and they're an incredibly talented 0-2 team that is also desperate for a win. So, I know you said earlier that you told your team to take it easy, but what is your message to your team this week, and what do you think is the key to finally getting that first much-deserved win on the board, either this week or in the upcoming weeks? Like, yeah, what's that looking like?
Well, I definitely want them to push and give, Fifth a little bit of trouble this week. Like, I don't want them to just completely throw and not log in any, at all. But because we are facing what everyone would say is the toughest match, which would be with the Butchers next week. So I want them to be, well prepared for that, even though it may not be a win. And I have already, we've already been through that as well. But I think we have our eyes set on the later half of the season. Honestly, like for me personally, I really want to stomp the shit out of the Traphouse just because Freckled and Halcyon are on that team, and those are, my clanmates. So
Yeah.
I love them, but yeah, and I know they're the same. So I know I have a feeling those 2 weeks, 5 and 6, are going to be pretty insane for our squad and the Traphouse. But yeah, and I love Hadj too. So like I'm ready to actually have like a real match with him too, because we totally threw it this week for sure with coming off such a tight week too. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to the back half of the season for sure. I definitely think we're not going 0-7.
Yeah, and y'all are really close to getting some of those dubs. And I'm not gonna lie, from what I'm hearing around the league, a lot of people are thinking that next week y'all are gonna be the first team to put up against the Butchers. What are your thoughts on that?
I would love to see that happen. I mean, they've played one game, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
they played one game, and
yeah,
I mean, they've only played like the first 6 days of that first game, so
yeah,
they need a game that goes to the end. I think
yeah,
they need to
yeah,
push all the way to the very end.
yeah. It seems like that could be trouble for the whole league if they're all just fresh and not having to play.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. Next
Well,
week's gonna be interesting. I look forward to that one for sure.
yeah, and I look forward to seeing how that all plays out. I know me, Levine, and Steve will for sure be ready to cover that after. Obviously, we cover this week. We'll look forward to covering that week as well. But yeah, that's all I really had for you today, DJ9. Thanks so much for your time. Your team has been one of the best stories of this season, and we're all rooting for you to get that first W.
Hey man, it's been a blast. Thanks so much. Yeah, I hope we do too. I know we are. I don't hope. I know we are for sure.
That's what we like to hear. That's what we like to hear.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, take it easy.
All right, you too, man. Thanks for having me on.
Yep. And now for our main event. We're joined by two of the most elite and consistent players in the entire competition. From the undefeated 2-0 Sennisten Shitlows Necro, and from the 1-1 Chinchompa Traphouse Halcyon Seed. I wanted to get you two together because you both represent the pinnacle of consistent high-level play. My first question is going to be for both of you. What is the key to maintaining such a high EHP week after week? And how do you manage the pressure of being expected, top performer for your team, Halcyon? I guess we'll start with you.
Okay. So for me, I mean, like, obviously, with sleep deprivation, it's like different person to person. So you kind of have to like figure out what works for you. But definitely like maintaining like a consistent schedule is like I honestly didn't even feel like the effects of sleep deprivation like that much, doing like 20 hours awake, 4 hours of sleep, which is like what I found like works best for me. And going into like the next week, obviously I was like a lot more tired. So I definitely like overslept a few times, but just like staying consistent in like the time that I slept as well was I think really helpful. Because like when it starts to get like chaotic, then it's like even easier to oversleep, and also your body is just like more messed up.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, from week 1 to week 2, I mean, you only had a drop of 14 EHP, which is pretty big considering you did like 139, I believe, and then you did 125. So like that's pretty crazy back to back. And the only reason you weren't the MVP was because of some crazy lower round picks who came up and kind of helped you out, but they also did like perform as well. So, but that's pretty interesting. Yeah, I can see how like over a period, a lot of people, I feel like after 2 weeks of 120 hours of being awake throughout the week, it gets to you and it's like, dang, I need a rest week. And looking at your week 3 right now, it looks like y'all may be taking advantage of that.
Yeah, okay. So week 2, we gave up with like about 10 hours left on week 2 because we just realized that, I mean, honestly, we were just like looking to see if the shitlows would like any of them would like go to sleep, and they just didn't. So that gap was unmanageable, especially with a lot of our players like having been up for so long already. It was just like a real like endurance test at the end because I mean honestly like I think like both teams kind of let it get like really down to the wire.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It was two really like, I'm not gonna lie, y'all had two like the toughest matchups, like in terms of like how y'all had to play, especially, you know, y'all are kind of a top heavy team. That's what's been the word at least. And it might be a little bit tough to, you know, when you have deeper teams and, you know, it's just kind of tough to keep up that type of motivation, especially week after week when you just like they're depending on you. And then, you know, you have someone like a Desper, for instance, who did like a 140 the first week. And it's like, dang, you gonna do like a 100 the second week. It's like, bro, it's kind of hard to get that dub, you know?
Yeah, people were like really, really tired going into week 2. Like Desper was like slept like 15 hours or something at the start of week 2. It's like kind of hard to fault people for that because obviously like if they're like pushing themselves really, really hard during the end of the previous week, then you know, it's like their own like prerogative for how much they need to like rest after that. But
Definitely. And yeah, I expect like I know that you've been one of like the elite players, and I just wanted to get your perspective on that and get to hear about that because look from the outside looking in, someone that's not playing, I just see how people are interacting throughout the competition. I see how people are like going. I see the teams and how when they put the matchups in or they put their lineups in, and I'm like, dang, they got Halcyon in again and again. I'm like, dang, and then the third week I was like, they got it in again. I was like, surely, I was like, okay, at some point it's like, okay, she did like a 130, did a 120. Like now I'm like, yo, like is she getting the rest that she needs? But hopefully you've been able to take some time and you know, chill and enjoy the game a little bit more. Or you probably are enjoying the game regardless, but you know, enjoying the game and not feeling so much pressure because you can have like a little bit of a rest week.
it's definitely a lot of ups and downs with like when you're like sleep depriving. Like I don't know, like sometimes it's like super fun and then sometimes it's just like pure misery. But yeah, this week has been nice. We're obviously taking a rest week. I mean, our team is getting like absolutely trounced. And the other team isn't even trying that hard either.
Yeah. I would say that's how like that seems to be how fifth and the Goon Squad are looking right now. Kind of a similar situation. Like they don't look as though they're trying, but they do have some of their top players in right now. Uh, and yeah, so that's good on your part, Necro. The question again, just to reiterate, was what is the key to maintaining such a high HP week after week, and how do you manage the pressure of being the expected top performer for your team?
Yeah, so I mean, routine is huge. It has to be like routine and habits throughout the
Mm,
week. That's big for me. Always like sticking to a sleep schedule, even if it's like a really fried one, you know, you're sleeping like 3 or whatever.
yeah,
Um, as far as pressure, I don't really feel pressure when playing. I like playing the game.
yeah,
I'm always motivated by just like progress outside of the comp,
yeah,
and that's like what always keeps me going. Like even during other comps, like where it's just completely grim and our team is folded, I always enjoy playing a lot just for the account progress, and that's usually what keeps me going.
nice. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty crazy to see. Like, I mean, I know you and Halcyon both sparred against each other in week two, and
Hmm.
y'all were really close in the matchup on week two. So
Yeah, we got
yeah,
carried by our bench big time for that one.
yeah, and that's the one. Yeah, the depth seems to just that's such a luck. That's a I don't know if it was a lucky pick, but that is a very like it was really unexpected. Hence why you know yeah, it was really unexpected, and I was like, wow, it was that was a really cool matchup to watch. And then yeah, so I guess both of you, I would just want to know when you say routine, you know, when you're getting ready for a week and you really know that you need to perform, you know it's not a rest week, you know you have to win, or you know that your team's motivated and they're all depending on you. What does your routine look like? I guess Halcyon.
Definitely like try and get like I try and get my sleep schedule to be like line up with like when the 6 hours starts, assuming that we're going into this with like not having stayed up like a super long session at the end of the previous week, which unfortunately like has been the case for the past few. I guess for week 2, week 2 was just like an unfortunate like set of circumstances where we like didn't really have the choice on whether we could go hard or not going into week 3, but trying to like line up the sleep schedule with the 6 hour, because it does like matter a lot. Like you'll be able to stay up like to a better point if you haven't been like awake for like 10 hours before the comp as well.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, like probably like take care of yourself a little bit before the next week starts, like assuming that one of the teams has like made like a clear like victory or loss. So yeah, get like ready.
What about you, Necro? How do you?
I mean, that's basically it. Like, there isn't too much you can do besides just getting a lot of sleep before, trying to sleep and wake as soon as or as close to the comp as you can, and just, be prepared for hell. Just try to stay up as long as you can in that first day. What's kind of nice is like when you are that rested for the first day, is you can do like a really long session. So like for me, like if I did like I would like to do like a little over a 30 hour to start, just so like when I sleep, I'm not sleeping at like 4 p.m. or something, just because of the 6 hour start time. So yeah, being really well rested for that first day is very important to me.
Yeah, okay. Because, I mean, it's crazy. You and Halcyon are both in the top 10 for total EHP gain. Y'all both have kind of had like maybe some type of taper week, which some may say it as a rest week, but it's still like in terms of the average player for people, because there's people that have been commenting on these YouTube videos who don't necessarily, they're not really into HLC skilling, but compared to like average gameplay, like you're still doing quite like high weeks, even on the rest week. So yeah, I think that's something to put into perspective there.
Yeah, I think it's nice to try to keep the average like a little high, just in case anything were to come down to like a tie. You don't want to throw away too many hours,
Yeah. Halcyon. So I know that week 3 may not be looking the brightest, but your team is coming off a tough upset loss after winning by 0.64 HP in the nail biter week of 1 with 5th. You personally still put up over 125 EHP in the loss. Like, how does the team's mindset change now that you face both a huge win and a huge loss, especially as you head into like, what people would perceive to be the Titan matchup against the undefeated Butchers?
I mean, the monkey's paw curled again for the Butchers, so they just get another bye week. But for going forwards, I think that our team is like pretty motivated, and we see like a path to victory in like the upcoming matchups. And I think they're a lot more winnable, especially since our team is kind of getting like their obligations out of the way this week. So should be like clear path for us going forwards.
Nice, thanks. And Necro, your team is kind of on the other side of that. You're 2-0 after a massive upset victory where your teammate Static Void, put the surprise MVP performance of 140 HP. So what's the confidence level like on your team right now? And how does your role change when you have deaf players capable of winning a week on their own, kind of?
Yeah, I mean, it's really big for us. For us, it's really important winning these early matches and getting a really strong start, because our schedule gets really rough towards the end, where we play Butchers into Plunders into Butchers again for the final weeks. So getting a lot of early dubs for us means a lot, and it's nice to be able to take this rest week so we can go big into week 4, because I feel like a lot of people are gonna go pretty hard for that week.
Yeah, gonna get cutthroat, man. I'm not gonna lie to both of you. It's gonna get...
I agree.
Yeah, a lot of people are gonna be looking for those dubs. So
yeah.
And I guess on that same note, other teams. So final question for both of you. Looking at the league, besides your own team, which team impresses you the most right now and why? Halcyon?
I mean, I think that the Butchers are definitely like the scariest team because they got so much like value late into the draft. I mean, I will say I think it's like a little bit cringe that some of the players that they picked like super late in the draft wouldn't have played for other teams, but they'll like go super hard for this one. I'm excited for. I think the GGS is gonna try and contest the Butchers next week, which I'm excited for. I think that'll be interesting.
Yeah, that would be interesting to see. Necro, besides your own, which team impresses you the most right now and why?
Yeah, I mean, of course, the obvious answer is Butchers. They're a stacked team, but I gotta say, I'm most impressed by the Goons. They just keep taking a hook to the chin and they get up every single time. That's very impressive, and I love to see it. And I would love to see them, go big in week 4. I'm rooting for them.
Imagine.
Let's go, Goons.
Yo, imagine that though. And I'm guessing I'd say this as it stands right now with the fantasy ending, with the regular season ending in 59 days, or 2025 season ending in 9 days. Butchers are first in total EHP. The Plunderers are second. Fiends are third. The Goon Squad is fourth, and the Shitlows are fifth. The Traphouse is sixth, and the captains. The captains are chilling around, and DJ9's handling business with almost triple of every other captain. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah. But yeah, Necro, Halcyon, thank you both so much for your time. Incredible insight from two of the best in the game.
Yeah, thank you
Thanks for having me.
Giving the platform.
3 incredible conversations and 3 completely different situations. It just proves that success in this competition isn't just about the numbers. It's about how you handle pressure, momentum, and the weight of expectation. It's going to be fascinating to see how these stories play out in week 3 and week 4 and the weeks to come. Thanks for tuning in.